Hello everyone. We'll start with momentum. That is the second chapter in the class 9 book. So, momentum is a new term that you get to learn, and then obviously, initially, it feels that it's what is it? So, we'll understand that the term and in break it up, understand it, and then change it, connect force with momentum. So, it will be easy for you to understand. Now, when we talk about momentum, it's best to take an example of, let's say, two cars which are identical. It is car 1 and car 2. Both the cars have the same mass because they are identical. And let's assume that car 1 is moving with velocity v and the second car is moving with velocity 2v. Now, if I stand in front of both the cars, the in which case will I be hit harder? So obviously the answer would be car 2. And the reason, it's again straightforward, that it's moving much faster. If I take another case where I take a car and a cycle, the car has a mass m1, cycle has mass m2, and both are moving with the same velocity. Now, in this case, I know very well that m1 is greater than m2. Mass of the car is much more than the cycle. So, once again, if you stand in front of both, then the damage caused in the case of car will be much greater. So, all this clearly indicates that the mass and velocity in a body play a very crucial role in showing or the force with which an object is hit, right? So, which means the mass and velocity we combine to give it another name, and that is called momentum. So, momentum, if you need to define, it is defined as momentum is defined as the quantity of motion in an object. It is the product of mass and velocity with which the object is moving. Now, the symbol of momentum is P. In physics, normally we have very set symbols which we don't change. So, the letter P represents momentum, and it is the product of mass and velocity. From here, you can also work out whether this quantity momentum is a scalar or a vector quantity. Now we know very well that velocity is a vector quantity, therefore momentum is also going to be a vector quantity. So since velocity is a vector quantity, so the momentum is also vector. Now coming to the unit, from the expression you should be able to get the unit. Like in this case, the unit of mass would be kg and the unit of velocity will be meter per second. So the momentum unit that the momentum has will be kilogram meter per second. Now in physics, normally we are using only SI units, standard units. We don't use smaller units. So be careful about that. So in this case, thus the momentum in a body depends on on the mass and velocity. So with this, you must also understand that a fast moving cycle can be as dangerous as a slow moving car. The mass of the cycle may be less, but if it has greater velocity, then it's carrying a large momentum, and the force due to that momentum would be equal to that of a car moving with a slow speed. So I think that's enough. So next time I'll be starting with the force. In my next video, you will understand the concept of force with momentum, and we will also derive the expression for force using second law of motion.